So obviously one of the big stories this year was about Dearica Hamby, and it was about basically the entire lawsuit between her and the Las Vegas Aces. So to give a recap of the entire scenario, we are going to be talking about it from start to finish. Because in fairness, it's something that I probably don't do enough on this channel. Like, I realized watching back on the video talking about the Angel Reese and Shaq situation, I didn't actually say what happened. I just gave my opinion on something that people may or may not know about. So, let's talk about the lawsuit. And the lawsuit that got the GM of the Las Vegas Aces fired and had Dearica Hamby tweeting a happy tweet as soon as it was announced. So basically, Dearica Hamby was a member of the Las Vegas Aces. She was a 6th player of the year and an all-star and champion there in 2022. She then signed a deal after the 2022 season. Was it after the 2022 season? She signed a deal, a long-term deal, and part of that deal was, I think, accommodation, and they were going to pay for her kids going to school, and well, her other kids' school, and in the end, she ended up getting pregnant. But assured the Aces that she was going to be ready to play for the start of the 2023 season. So basically, she assured the Aces she was going to miss no time. And in a league where obviously there are a bunch of pregnancy rules, Becky Hammon was furious and then basically said, well, we can't do anything with you. We have to trade you. So she was traded because she was pregnant, and while this whole thing was going on, well, allegedly, according to the lawsuit, they basically took some of the funding away from her kid going to school. I think they no longer let her live in the house they supplied. It was kind of grim. And eventually she got traded to the Los Angeles Sparks. She had a pretty good year this year. But what started off as a complaint about the Aces, which the Aces lost a draft pick for it, and Becky Hammon got suspended for a couple of games, where, by the way, we have kind of like no revisions history. Of the Aces players, Kelsey Plum tried not to say anything wrong, but like Aja Wilson and Candace Parker were the only two that were 100% on the side of Becky Hammon in this. Like, we can't rewrite history. Aja Wilson and Candace Parker were on the side of Becky Hammon. But what ended up happening then is this year, there was then a lawsuit about it. Dearica Hamby filed a lawsuit with the Aces, and now we are seeing the Aces GM be fired. And as you guys can see, Dearica Hamby, what a beautiful day. Sun is out, the birds are chirping, and the sky is blue. Sorry, very, very tired. But yeah, they have tweeted out a thank you to the GM. And the one thing I will say is a lot of people are like, oh, she might have just been fired normally. I just can't stress this enough. The Aces, since she took over as GM, the Aces won back-to-back titles. She took over as GM, they won back-to-back titles. And she drafted extremely well in the second round this year. They lost their first round pick. She brought Tiffany Hayes out of retirement. I don't really know what negative move she made realistically over the 2 years. Maybe you can argue the Hamby situation. Well, the Hamby trade was a bad one, but like, you can argue giving Megan Gustafson $100K. Maybe that wasn't ideal, but like, other than that, I don't know if she put a foot wrong in her job, but she was fired. Becky will be next. Top down rebuild needs to be on. Hopefully, making some drastic changes and moves in player department as well. Some players got to go. But yeah, and it is one of those things where it's like, you were seeing like Dearica Hamby celebrate, and it really is a weird one where it's like, she was very clearly good at her job, but I really wonder what the reasoning was for it. Because for Dearica Hamby to tweet that immediately, like immediately after her being announced fired, when your enemies get eliminated one by one, like she'll probably tweet out something similar when Becky Hammon, if Becky Hammon gets fired, Becky Hammon's not going to be fired. But like, it is funny though. I will say this: the one group of people, a lot of people are saying you don't want to mess with, like, if you have the Caitlin Clark fans after you, if you have the Angel Reese fans after you. No, neither. You don't want to mess with the Aces fans. You really don't want to piss off the Aces fans. Like, they will see you, they will boo you if you accuse the team of like anything in the game. And some of the social media stuff, and I feel bad for it because the amount of abuse that I've gotten, it's not really from, it's from the Aces fans. Like, the emails in my the death threats in my email. Oh, it was only right after the Aces got eliminated and I celebrated that. But yeah, so that is a really, really interesting one here to see what's happening with the Aces. I think the Aces, since they're restructuring the front office, I really wonder what the Aces are going to do. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting one to see how they go, because their future is not bright. Like, yes, Aja Wilson is Aja Wilson. Like, don't get it twisted. Aja Wilson is Aja Wilson. But, like, Kelsey Plum might leave. And even if she stays, she's reached her peak already. Maybe she can get a little bit better, but that's the best case scenario, is that she gets a little bit better. And after that, you've got Jackie Young, who, in fairness, is coming into her peak. After Jackie Young, you got Chelsea Gray, who's got very little time left. And the rest of your players, like Tiffany Hayes, literally had to come out of retirement. She has 1 year, basically she's got 1 year left in her. I don't know if it'll be a good year. I don't know if it'll be a bad year, but she's literally got 1 year left. And I would be shocked if she lasts more than a year. But, yeah, so for Aces fans, it might be a bit of a rebuild. Or it might just be like a restructuring year. It might just be one of those, like, you know what, we're going to dot our I's and cross our T's, and we're going to make sure that maybe some of the negative stigma about our organization from the Hamby thing is gone. Maybe, like, obviously Becky Hammon is Becky Hammon, so you're not going to get rid of her. Maybe get rid of the easiest person you can from that situation, and you can make a run at it with 2026 free agents. You can keep Jackie Young, you can keep Aja, and then you can make a run at it when basically everybody else is a free agent in 2026. So I think the Aces might be just saying, downing tools and being like, look, we're going to be good, not great next year. Goals to be great in 2026, which I think every team realistically should be doing. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.